Just joining us here in Philadelphia, Greg Gumbel along with Dan Deerdorf. Jacksonville's running game has dominated today. The Jaguars leading the Eagles 13-3. McNabb to throw. Hits his man across midfield. Stallworth again and roughed out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
The crowd got excited, but no flag was thrown. And for the first time today, Donovan McNabb is finding guys open in the Jacksonville secondary. It has been a scratch and claw type of day for the Eagles offensively. This Jacksonville defense has been all over them. Right now they're not mustering any pressure and guys are open.
8.5 to play in the fourth. McNabb gonna go deep. Down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for number 84, Hank Baskett.
Well, he's working one-on-one with Brian Williams, the cornerback signed in free agency from Minnesota. And you can see Williams just not going to let him go. Good position by Williams, although Baskett able to separate by about half a step. But a good job by Williams of going stride for stride and resisting that urge to get out there with that left arm and hook the receiver.
David Garrard starting today in place of injured Byron Leftwich, holding his own. McNabb flips to Buckholter. Buckholter, right side, and brought down at about the 43-yard line. Here's David Garrard, making his 9th NFL start today. You might recall last year, Jacksonville finished hot. He came on in relief of injured Byron Leftwich and went 4-1 in the 5 starts that he made down the stretch. McNabb now looking at a 3rd and 6.
Comes the blitz.
And McNabb fighting to stay on his feet, finally goes down at the 47, courtesy of Brent Hawkins,
who hurt himself on the play. Hawkins clutching at his left leg. He was able to bring down McNabb, but immediately grabbed for his left leg.
Hawkins is a 5th-round draft pick, rookie out of Illinois State.
Hawkins is going to be coming, take a look at him coming around the corner. And as he went, you could see that his leg kind of slid out from under him. Tough to tell exactly what happened. Oh, there's some good news. He's up.
Returns to NASN.
You can't wrap them up against allergies, but you can treat almost every allergic reaction with Piriton.
This November on NASN, we've got more great NFL action as the season reaches its halfway point, and we bring you an exclusive Thanksgiving triple header. The NHL season is in full swing with up to 6 great matchups every week. And college football continues with the division's top teams starting to think about the bowl games. Catch all this action and lots more on NASN this November.
Kudos being handed out on the sideline to the defensive front of the Jaguars, which made a terrific stand there. forces the kick here by the Eagles. Pierman. It bounces into the end zone, and we have a penalty marker back up the field at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, this was something at the line of scrimmage thrown by the umpire.
That's Byron Leftwich in the stocking cap. Looks like he said a tripping call.
Looks like preliminary call of tripping.
Tripping by the kicking team, number 56. That's a 10-yard penalty that will be enforced from the 20-yard line to the 30-yard line. Jacksonville ball, first down.
Penalty is on Sean Barber. 7:27 to play. David Garrard back on offense after this.
Sees the blitz coming, stands in, he airs it out, he's got it, touchdown! PHE stands in, he throws it deep to Reggie Wayne, touchdown! Looks, throws back to the end zone, touchdown! Sets, rolls to the right, he airs one out intended for Marvin Harrison, touchdown Marvin! PHE throws to Stokely, touchdown! That's the record breaker! His 49 touchdown pass.
Hey.
Honey, what is Sidney Crosby doing in our shower?
He's just here to remind you that the season started.
Fires it, and he scores! Sidney Crosby with a tremendous individual play.
On CBS, Indy, Denver, Jets, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Oakland. Check your local listings. It's coming up next.
What a luxury it is right now to know that you've been running the football well.
Jacksonville has done that. Here's Drew. And there's a marker coming in from deep in center field.
Holding, offense number 80, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's tight end Kyle Brady. We go to JB in New York.
Hey, Greg and Dan, how nice a story is it about Marcus Colston, a young man out of hospital? Take a look here. Drew Brees hooking up with Colston, breaking 2 tackles right there. He takes it 47 yards to pay dirt, although the Saints are trailing 35-14. Back to Greg and Dan.
All right, JB, thank you. Baltimore Ravens impressive on the road today. So are these Jacksonville Jaguars. 1st and 20. Drew, left side, turns the corner, 30. And run out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, and we get another update from James Brown in New York.
Greg and Dan, take a look at Kansas City on this botched field goal attempt here when the holder, Dustin Colquitt, tries to pass the ball and get rid of it. Kelly Herndon returns it 60 yards to pay dirt, his first career touchdown for the 5th-year player. 27-21, KC late in the 4th. Back to Greg and Dan.
Well, I guess Herman Edwards was comfortable right up until that point.
Right up until that point. And I think Jack Del Rio was comfortable until that holding penalty by Brady. They made up some of it. Let's see if they can get the rest.
2nd and 7. Once again, Maurice Drew.
Ooh, how close was Drew to breaking through there for some big yardage? looked like he got tripped up. And if he wouldn't have gotten tripped up there, I think Jeremiah Trotter. Yep, Jeremiah reaches in there with that left arm. Ooh, that was close to being another 5 or 6 yards for Drew.
And now 3rd and 4.
And it's a real understatement to say the Eagles need a stop here desperately.
192 rushing yards for the Jaguars today. Looked like a little bit of a botched play. Garrard keeps it, and across the 40-yard line has enough for a first down.
I think that's a design play the whole way. I think they made it look like that. Let's see the exact spot. It looks like it's good enough, but that, I think, is a fake all the way by Garrard. That is a real gutsy call. He makes it look like it's going to be the handoff, and then he peels and goes. Boy, overcoming a 10-yard holding call means you need to pick up 20 yards for a first down, and Jacksonville still doesn't.
Brian Dawkins shaken up on that play. Quentin Michael replaces him. Fred Taylor back into the lineup. Taylor with the football. Has running room. Outside. Runs over a tackler. Crosses midfield. Sheldon Brown came up, and he may get credit for the tackle, but he was hit hard by Fred Taylor. 4.5 minutes to play. Things are looking up for the Jaguars. And we are close enough to get a first down measurement. Boy, this Jacksonville ground game has been impressive.
You talked about the hit that Fred Taylor and Sheldon Brown had. Just keep in mind that hit was 8 yards downfield. And you don't want Sheldon Brown to be the primary tackler in this situation. Extremely well blocked up front. Listen to the end of this. Fred just powers right through Sheldon Brown, but again, another example of just really, really good blocking at the point of attack by this Jacksonville offensive football team. And they're all in on it.
103 yards rushing, his second 100-yard game rushing this season. And we get timeout on the field now with 4.5 to play. Charge to the Eagles. Jacksonville trying to put together a game-ending drive right here.
Returns to NASN.
You can't wrap them up against allergies, but you can treat almost every allergic reaction with Piriton.
This November on NASN, we've got more great NFL action as the season reaches its halfway point, and we bring you an exclusive Thanksgiving triple header. The NHL season is in full swing with up to 6 great matchups every week. And college football continues with the division's top teams starting to think about the bowl games. Catch all this action and lots more on NASN this November. Four and a half minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Dan, I just mentioned to you, it's no longer a secret. You're not looking for David Garrard to throw the football, not the way the Jaguars have been able to run the ball against this Eagle defense today.
For Jack Del Rio, it just has to be the perfect scenario. Exactly what he wanted to have happen. Control the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 1, looking for a first down here to extend the drive, and Garrard sneaks for the first down.
And that wasn't even, you can't even hardly call that a sneak. It's what you call the play, but look how easy that was. Brad Meester, Naoli, and Manway, look at them just blow these guys off the ball. Look at the guys in the green. They are just being removed from the line of scrimmage. Outstanding.
NASN, the North American Sports Network, a new and exciting sports channel dedicated to the best in live North American sports 24/7. NASN is the best of live NFL, including the Super Bowl live, up to 175 regular season NHL games and the Stanley Cup Finals, comprehensive coverage of the MLB regular and postseason, and exclusive college football and basketball. With the best daily news, highlights, and analysis, NASN is your channel for the best in live North American sports. Visit NASN.com for scheduling news and information.
I'll take a look at their next 5 opponents. Only the Giants have a winning record. They've got a chance to get better.
This is Maurice Drew. Hit immediately. Let's go back to look at that schedule.
Well, they get 3 straight games at home. The next 2 against Tennessee and Houston. And then they entertain the Giants on the 20th. And then on the road against 2 struggling football teams, Buffalo and Miami. So it's for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the real tough deal they were facing was having to go on the road to play the Eagles and facing the prospect that they would come out of it with a losing record.
Incidentally, in order to try to conserve some time, the Eagles have used their 3rd and final timeout here to stop the clock with 4:22 to play.
And this game is far from over. A 10-point lead is only that with Donovan McNabb and the Eagles defense. But again, no more timeouts, and they're going to have to show something offensively that they've chosen not to show in the prior 55.5 minutes.
2nd and 10. And right back to the ground game with Drew. Cuts inside.
Oh, man, he's got to hold on to that ball. The Eagles are going after it.
And lost 2 yards on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 12.
Like a good defensive unit, they need possession of the ball. Look how close it. Maurice Drew got really, really lucky. That ball was there to be had, and nobody from the Eagles was coming in on the side where the ball was exposed.
It's a real delight to talk to him as he walks his way through his first season in the NFL, isn't it?
Really, a really likable young man. What's significant here is ever since we saw Fred Taylor fall on the football and get the wind knocked out of him, he's only been back in for 1 play. And now Jacksonville had to take a timeout. They were running out of. No,
they didn't get the timeout call. It's a delay of game penalty.
Oh, he didn't get it called in time?
Philadelphia has had its problems this season, especially in close games. Week 2, Plexico Burr's 31-yard TD pass in overtime to give the Giants the win. At New Orleans, John Carney's game-winning field goal with no time remaining. And then last week, Matt Bryant's 62-yard field goal, no time remaining. As Donovan McNabb said, this team could just as easily be 7-0, but in reality, the Eagles come in at 4-3. Garrard still on his feet and now smacked down at about his own 48-yard line.
And I don't think Garrard had any intention of putting that ball in the air. And coming up for the Eagles, they go into a bye week here where they get a chance to get some of their wounded back. Then a couple of home games against Washington and Tennessee. Then that big game with Indianapolis on the road and back here for Carolina. And they've got to play some they were hoping to go into the bye with a win. To do so offensively, they're going to have to score this possession.
This is the 3rd time these teams have met, and Philadelphia has never beaten Jacksonville. Both previous games played in Jacksonville, the first time these teams met here in Philadelphia.
Timeout Jacksonville. That's their first.
And now the Jaguars
30
burn the
seconds
timeout here. with 2:45 to play in the fourth quarter. As we stand here and watch this game, Dan, you have to say we're more than just a little surprised at how it's gone.
Well, when you have the number one offense in football, yardage-wise, you have an offense that's third in the league in terms of points scored per game, averaging 28.5 points a game, playing at home in a game that they absolutely, you know, Andy Reid will tell you they targeted this game to go into the bye. You know, this was a team that openly talked about we should be 7-0. Well, teams that should be 7-0 don't get handled the way they've been handled to this point. And again, it's not over.
They've managed 165 yards on offense. Hanson's kick. Reno Mahu to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. A reminder, coming your way next here on CBS. Peyton Manning and the Colts. Jake Plummer and the Broncos. The Jets at Cleveland. Pittsburgh at Oakland. That's all next. Check your local listings.
Well, pull up a chair in front of your television for that Indy-Denver game. That's one of those can't miss games right there. There's more storylines to follow in that thing. And again, of course, not the least of which Jake Plummer and the pressure that he's under out there in Denver, and Jay Cutler sitting in the wings.
1st and 10. Philadelphia out of timeouts. McNabb going to go down the middle. That's complete inside the 45-yard line to Dante Stallworth. 29 yards on the pickup. Line of scrimmage will be the 45.
A lot of football left here. A lot of football.
McNabb flips to Westbrook out of the backfield, looking for the sideline, and he finds it. With 2:02 to play, they'll have another snap before the 2-minute warning.
Smart by Brian Westbrook heading for the sidelines. When you have no timeouts, you gave your team one more play, and every play that the Eagles get to run between now and the end of this game is critical.
Second and 3. McNabb buys himself some time and throws, and that is complete to the 35-yard line to Matt Schobel, the tight end. And with that, we reach the 2-minute warning. 1:54 to play in Philadelphia.
So you all right, Jake?
Well, don't you think Mum's been acting a bit weird?
I wouldn't worry about it, son.
Only Actimel contains the good bacteria LC Immunitas. Try it and see if you feel the difference. They're none.
Chia Pets are still in it.
I know one thing, that if the Eagles do mount a historic comeback here, most of the people who were here at the beginning aren't going to see it in person.
1:54 to play. First down, Eagles. McNabb throwing a wide open Brian Westbrook, who dropped it. Pass appeared to be a little low.
And a lot of times those are the hardest ones to catch.
I don't think anyone was within 15 yards of Brian Westbrook.
The ball's kind of descending. It's on its way down, but still hit him right in the forearms, right in the hands. And the normally sure-handed Westbrook just flat out dropped it.
The fourth drop pass today by the Eagles.
And it's been an ongoing concern, not just today, but in the weeks prior as well.
On 2nd and 10, McNabb throws out here. That's complete. Westbrook looking for the sideline. And
they're going to give it to him? Yeah, they are.
That's a 5-yard pickup.
That took a great effort by Westbrook to get to the sidelines.
Stops the clock with 1:40 to play.
Now, right now, when you look at the line of scrimmage, it would be about a 46, 47-yard field goal. You got to get a field goal and a touchdown to tie this thing.
3rd and 5. He needs the 24-yard line for a first down. McNabb on the move. Has the first down. Trying to reach the sideline, and in his way is the rookie Clint Ingram. And with no way to stop the clock, continue to move.
The officiating crew having a little trouble spotting the ball. There they finally get it.
What a nice tackle by Clint Ingram, the rookie linebacker. McNabb steps up, throws, hits his man. 10-yard line. Westbrook.
Oh, and Westbrook, instead of heading to the sidelines, stays in bounds. Brian actually thinking that he was going to try to score on that play. But a lot of valuable time ticks away.
50 seconds to play. McNabb on first down. Looks, throws, incomplete, out of bounds. That stops the clock with 41 seconds. Andy Reid told us yesterday, you can point to the losses by just pinpointing some mistakes. And if they're not corrected, they're going to have problems. They've made their fair share today.
They've made their fair share of mistakes. Their biggest, well, there's 2 mistakes. Offensively, this is the first time they've done much of anything. But really the biggest mistake was defensively, their inability to keep Jacksonville from running the ball down their throat.
On 2nd and 10, McNabb throwing, incomplete. Another dropped pass.
Well, and there was a classic look of Westbrook looking downfield, trying to find out who it was he was going to have to make miss before he caught the football and put it away.
38 seconds.
Well, if you can get it in the end zone, you still got a chance at an onside kick.
Third down. McNabb batted down over the middle.
Big John Henderson got up. Now you got to go ahead and kick the field goal here. On 4th and 10, there's no use going for it. You got to get a field goal sooner or later. Might as well take it now. But Henderson, I don't think ever even left the line of scrimmage.
That's 2 of those he's batted down today.
It's a bit of a plus when you're 6'7".
Akers hit a 25-yarder earlier, this one from 28. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. So with 31 seconds to play, Jacksonville with a 13-6 lead and now braces for the onside kick.
And we'll get a good look here at the NFL and their new rule that keeps you from overloading one side of the kicking formation when you try an onside kick. Now you've got to have at least 4 guys on one side of the ball.
You like that rule?
Well, the reason is player safety, because there were just too many people in a concentrated area. So I think any rule whose genesis is player safety, I think it's a good idea.
This will be the first time that the Eagles will attempt an onside kick this season.
There's a couple different ways to do it. One is to kind of hit the little pooch where the ball doesn't hit the ground, and you hit a floater and you hope to drop it in behind the guys. The more conventional way of kicking an onside kick is for the kicker to actually hit on top of the ball, drive it into the ground right in front of the tee, and get it to take that big hop in the air. The third way is to pick out a guy and try to drill him right in the chest with the ball and see if you can get it to carry him off one of the members of the receiving team. You got several options here.
Look at all of the Jaguars up for this onside attempt. Maurice Drew is back at the 30-yard line.
And of course the Eagles in a bunch there, not declaring themselves as to which side they want to overload by a guy or two.
You have 10 Jaguars between the 40 and 45-yard line.
Well, because Akers could try to drill one of them here.
Tries it to the near side, and that's grabbed, lost, and then fallen on by whom?
Well,
Jaguars feel they have it.
It was there for a moment. Oh, just for a tantalizing moment, the ball was on the ground.
Darrell Smith, the middle linebacker, it would appear, has sealed victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Akers drove it into the ground, but it just hopped right to Smith, who couldn't handle it, and then got really, really lucky that nobody from Philadelphia hit him right away to separate him from the football.
Darrell Smith will get his share of kudos filling in at middle linebacker for Mike Peterson. He was a middle linebacker back in college. When he got here to Jacksonville, they made him an outside linebacker, and that experience paying off in the middle now that Peterson is out with the injury. Garrard will take a knee.
Well, congratulations to Jacksonville, but what a bitter, bitter loss for Andy Reid and for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is not the way they wanted to head into their bye week.
Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars, winless on the road, have come to a town where, Dan, you said it, the Philadelphia Eagles going into this season considered one of the elite. And Jacksonville knocks off the Eagles 13-6. For Dan Deerdorf, Greg Gumbel, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew, so long from Philadelphia. After this message, we'll send you to New York for the Capital One update. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 41.
Hi, I'm Tim McCoy.
Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Late games coming up today here on CBS. A powerhouse matchup. Indianapolis taking on Denver, an undefeated coast team taking on the 5-1 Broncos. The New York Jets, surprising New York Jets, taking on Cleveland, two former defensive coordinators for Bill Belichick. Pittsburgh will be taking on Oakland. That's coming up a little later right here on CBS as we welcome you in with Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Let's get you caught up on action around the league. Ravens, of course, and knowledge.
And a rough day for New Orleans Saints. Reggie Bush, he rolls out, throws a pass. That's not what he does best, but he throws a pass, and Chris McAllister comes up with the interception here. And then Drew Brees, one of his interceptions today, gets knocked up in the air by Aaron Stecker. Ronnie Pruitt comes up with the interception, 13 yards, touchdown. Then Steve McNair gets started. When it's going your way, it's going good. Tipped off two Saints for a touchdown to Todd Heap. And there's more pressure on Drew Brees. This interception for a touchdown. DeJuan Landry goes in 12 yards, and the Ravens defense is all over the Saints.
Ravens 28 points off of turnovers. The Ravens have now won 5 straight following the bye. A big win in that contest with Brian Billick, of course, a head coach, calling the plays. And you mentioned earlier, Shannon, that, yeah, we should expect Billick to do well calling the plays.
It's his offense, JB, and obviously Jamal Lewis had a great day running the football. Not the yards per carry that you'd like to see, 27 attempts, 97 yards, but also Steve McNair has done a great job of protecting the football, and you know that defense, once they got a lead 21-0, it was going to be tough for New Orleans to come back.
All right, let's continue on with the highlights here. Atlanta at Cincinnati.
There's Ocho Cinco right there. Let's pull his jersey off right there, and it's Chad Johnson. Here comes Chad Johnson for his first touchdown of the day, 12-yard touchdown connection. He's going to do the salsa, Dancing with the Stars audition. But it's going to be Michael Vick. What a day Michael Vick had for the Atlanta Falcons. 3 touchdowns on a day. How about this nice touch pass to Michael Jenkins, a 26-yard TD, but then he's going to come back. Look at him stand in the pocket, Shannon. He finds his receiver, Justin Griffith, the fullback in the flat. Carson Palmer comes back, and he's going to find Kinsey. That's right, Chris Henry back from suspension. That's right, a big touchdown right here is going to bring Cincinnati within 2. Cincinnati has the ball 3 seconds to go in the game. I think the game is over.
Carson Palmer has just fumbled in this one, and it looks like Atlanta has recovered. So it is now a final. The Atlanta Falcons win this one 29-27. They improve to 5-2. The Cincinnati Bengals drop to 4-3. Let's move on, Shannon.
Yeah, the Texans have dominated this game, but 4 sacks, 5 turnovers, and 10 penalties. And Vince Young, you can see getting outside the pocket, 20-yard TD run, puts them up early. And here he is again, Vince Young. Back, Bobby Wade takes it the last 12 yards when he's on another 20-yard touchdown. And the Titans are really rolling. Adam Packman. He got the cherry. He got the cherry. He's got the high score. A 53-yard TD return on a punt. And Pac-Man Jones, but hey, you got a ball game late, JB.
No question about it. 36 seconds remaining in that contest there. Of course, we'll get you updated. You see the clock ticking down now. Rosenfels went in for an ineffective David Carr in this contest. Jacksonville at Philadelphia. Dan.
And you think about Jacksonville, David Garrard comes in, he runs up the middle here, 13 yards. One problem today is Philadelphia couldn't get going anything offensively. Fred Taylor, another rushing touchdown, 15 yards up the middle. He had over 100 on the day. McNabb, rough day. He has all day to throw here. Gets sacked, but on the day, 18 for 34, only 163 yards. He got sacked 4 times. Rough day for Philadelphia. And David Garrard right here, he gets time to throw, drops back, and gets sacked by Tahani Jones. The real story in the game is Philadelphia couldn't get anything going offensively.
David Garrard looking impressive indeed. Again, the Jaguars had 1 at 2 previous meetings, now 3. And Boomers, we take a look at this one. Philadelphia with 229 total yards, averaging over 400. Jacksonville got it done.
You know, it's amazing week to week in this NFL what happens to these teams. We talk about crossroads games. We said in the pregame show we thought Jacksonville was right at that crossroads right here at game number 7. David Garrard comes in for an ineffective Byron Leftwich last week. Now, what does Jack Del Rio do next week? I think you got to stay with the young kid. This is the same guy that won 4 out of the last 5 games for Jacksonville last year and was replaced by